On today's video, we're going to cover 7 reasons why Knoxville, Tennessee may not be right for you. And first up on that list is that here in East Tennessee, we love our guns. Let's get to it. In Knoxville, Tennessee, and the East Tennessee area in general, guns are just a way of life. We were raised that way. We remember hunting with our parents, our grandparents, going skeet shooting, going target shooting. We have enjoyed passing that tradition and knowledge on to our children, and we still enjoy, I still enjoy today. Going in, I don't crawl up in trees and go hunting anymore, but I do enjoy going to the range and shooting my pistols and those types of activities. Now, I will tell you this about guns here in East Tennessee. We take gun safety extremely serious. We are taught, and when we learn to use a gun as a young person, and we teach our kids the same, to respect the guns, to understand how to handle guns. So gun safety is a really important piece also of the lifestyle and culture here in East Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is also an open carry, constitutional carry, some people call it, state. What does that mean? Here's what it means. It means if I am legally able to own a firearm and possess it, then I am legally able to carry that firearm, that pistol, here in the state of Tennessee in most public places, and I can either carry that openly on my side where everybody else can see it, or I can conceal it. So you can have open carry or concealed carry here in the state of Tennessee as long as you're 21 years old and you are legally able to possess that gun. Now, if you're coming from an area where they have had strict gun laws and you aren't used to walking into a store or being around people in public and looking at the person in front of you and they have a gun on their side, that may make you very uncomfortable. And it's something that you do need to know that you would have to get used to, not just here in Knoxville, but most of the states, most of the areas, and definitely in most of Tennessee. Now, I do want to point this out also. Most people do elect to conceal their carry. So most of the time you aren't seeing someone with a gun strapped on their side, but you will do that and you will encounter that here in Knoxville. And if you're not comfortable with that, Knoxville may or may not be right for you. The second reason that you may not want to make Knoxville your home is the weather. Knoxville is known for what I consider to be a positive for the area, for very mild, distinct seasons, short summers, short winters, nice long springs, nice beautiful falls. But in the summer months, July, August especially, our hot months, it's humid here. We're in the South. So, you're going to see high 80 days, some low 90 days, even mid 90 days here. And the thing about the heat here in the South is that when it's humid, it's really hot. So for 45 to 75, 80 days a year, you're going to have some days during that period of time that are really hot, really muggy, and you consider it to be uncomfortable just to be outside. So many people, move to the South because they do want the warm weather. And the great thing about our hot period is that it's really short, 2 months max. Humidity comes and goes during that period of time, but it is uncomfortable for some folks. And in December, January, February, in our winter months, 40-degree days with high humidity can feel colder than that. So sometimes on our cold days, it feels colder than it is. Another great feature is that we don't have a lot of those. Now, we've done a full video on the weather here in Knoxville with much more detail. So please click on that and watch it if you would like more details about the weather here in Knoxville. And my name is Todd Jewell, by the way. I'm a real estate agent here in Knoxville, and I've been one for about 15 years. And I absolutely love to work with people just like you who are making their move to Knoxville, Tennessee, or even considering it, and on this channel we try to provide you with good and bad so you can make a really informed decision. Another feature of our weather here in Knoxville is that, we get beautiful, as you can see behind me, green, lush landscapes. It's what attracts a lot of people to our area. It's very beautiful. We have a lot of springs and rivers and creeks, and it's just a really pretty green, lush place. To stay green and to stay lush means you need rain, and we do have a little more rain here than the national average. So when you live here, if you're someone who is looking for 340 sunshine days a year, Knoxville may not be for you, because we do get periods of rain. We get a lot of afternoon showers in the summertime, those types of things. But because of that, we end up with a beautiful, lush landscape, great scenery, and a fantastic area to call home. So the third reason that you may not want to call Knoxville home is the individualism of the residents here in East Tennessee. We here in East Tennessee, we love our freedom, and we are not really big on either governments or municipalities of any type or whatever telling us a lot about what we must or must not do. We like to make those decisions for ourselves, and we also like to feel like we're self-reliant. We're able to work through whatever we have to, and we can do all of that on our own. And so we also expect that most folks who are here are going to do the same. And I'll give you an example of the individualism that you have here. We had COVID. During the COVID, we had all the mask mandates and all these things that went around throughout the entire country. I'm not here to debate that opinion. I'm just here to tell you how it is in East Tennessee. If you were in downtown Knoxville, or if you were probably in downtown Nashville, Memphis, the larger metro areas proper, we had mask mandates and those types of things. But the second and most people followed them, and they had to, or were really encouraged to. But if you got outside of the metro area, if you got out, just 2, 3, 4 miles out of town, you get just a little bit out of the cities, what you find is that most people during that period of time made that choice for themselves. You weren't going to walk into a store and they say you have to have a mask on. People wore masks. People didn't wear masks. We left it up to those individuals, and that's how we like it here. That independent spirit is also a reason that if you're not comfortable in that environment, then you may not find Knoxville a perfect fit. The number 4 reason that Knoxville may not be a right fit for you, and this is, I know, typical in most parts of the country right now, but we do have a housing shortage. So if you're looking for an area that you can move to and you can get a real bargain in a home as it relates to the current prices and what's on the market, if you're looking to move to an area where you can have a large selection of homes on the market, take your time finding the home that you're looking for, those types of things. The Knoxville real estate market currently, as of July 2023, is probably going to make Knoxville a tough fit for you. Part of my job, and right now one of my hardest jobs, and it's the reason we do so much work up front, and a great reason why you need to go ahead and reach out to me early. Doesn't matter if you're a year from moving or what, and get the process started so it's easy and stress-free, is that when we have people who do get ready to move, they already know the areas, we've already had them come visit, we've already been through some homes, they understand the value, they understand what they should pay for a home. So when they make that move and we need to go buy a home, we can look at what's on the market, we can find something that works for them, and they can feel comfortable making a very quick and informed decision. So number 5 on our list is allergies. If you are someone who really battles allergies, as you can see the beautiful trees behind me, the grass, as we talked about earlier, that lush landscape, all the flowers, the blooming trees that we have here in East Tennessee. So one of the things that you're going to find here is that, if you're an allergy sufferer, you're going to want to bring a little bit of that antihistamine. Now, there are a lot of home remedies here. A local honey from a local farmer, a little bit of that every day seems to do wonders for in allergy season. But if you're someone who suffers from allergies heavily, then Knoxville may not be right for you, as much of the South may not really be right for you. You may need to look more out west or an area like that, because pretty much anywhere that I've lived all over the South, we have always had to deal with allergies because of the beautiful landscape and all the great scenery and vegetation that we are fortunate enough to be surrounded by. Number 6 is construction. So one of the things I'm trying to do here is to build a YouTube channel. So if you would help me with a little bit of construction, subscribe below, that would be great. One of the things about construction is that it tells you that an area is really, really popular, right? So you can't drive around Knoxville, Knox County, any of our surrounding areas where you don't see constant construction. Developments being put in, apartment buildings being built, commercial buildings being renovated, homes being renovated. If you go to downtown, we're building stadiums, we're building, the area is exploding with quality growth. And, for some people, the inconveniences of those, albeit temporary, the inconveniences of that growth may be something that you don't want to experience. You may not want to be in an area where they're, continuing to widen roadways and those types of things. So if construction is a concern for you, Knoxville may not be the right fit. The number 7 reason on our list why Knoxville may not be a perfect fit for you is that we do have a tourism industry here that has become a pretty substantial part of the Knoxville economy. So if you are someone who is coming from an area that was traditionally a tourist area and you're just sick of having tourists in the area, sick of the crowds, sick of those kind of things, then downtown Knoxville, especially during peak season, and some of the other historical and beautiful areas that we have, parks and things like that, our waterways, can become a little bit crowded. So if that's something that's going to bother you, then maybe you'll want to consider whether or not Knoxville is a perfect fit. We're also very fortunate to be really close to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and I consider that to be a huge pro for living here in Knoxville, but it does, especially in the fall during leave season and in the summer during vacation season, it does increase traffic flow through Knoxville on both sides, on the interstate system and on the back way into the Smokies. It does increase traffic, and if you are someone who likes to go to the mountains, going to those hot spots during those times of year, probably not the best thing to do. But here's a great thing about where we live in our tourist industry is, as a local, we visit those areas in the off-peak. I may go downtown, we can do that in the off-peak time. We go to the Smokies quite often, go to Cades Cove, go up and go hiking, do those kinds of things. And because we are in such close proximity, we have the ability to do that at any given time. So really, it is a negative and it may not work for everyone, but those of us who do live here absolutely love our location, love the fact that people visit our area for helping the economy, all those kinds of things, but also we love being close to the Smoky Mountains. Okay, so there's 7 reasons that Knoxville, Tennessee may not be a perfect fit for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a comment below, reach out to me if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, I cannot wait to see you around town soon.